Welcome back. Hotel business is booming. Choice Hotels, the parent company of Comfort Inn, Quality Inn, and Econo Lodge, reporting a 12% increase in revenue from 1 year ago as the hospitality giant develops its newest brand, Cambria Suites. Joining me now and first on a Fox Business interview is Steve Joyce. He is the president and CEO of Choice Hotels, and it is good to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So as you look to expand this new area of the business, characterize what you're seeing right now in the hotel business.
Well, you know, it's interesting. In the place where we're putting Cambria, which we just opened one in Times Square 2 days ago, that's where most of the new construction is coming, but it's also where the demand is growing the fastest. But actually, in all of our categories, we're having a very strong year. Our revenues are up 12% for the third quarter, and we think next year is going to be really strong, probably for the next 2 or 3.
So explain that, because we've been having this debate this morning about whether or not we're going to see a recession for the U.S. economy in the next 6 months. Is this just a bifurcated area where things that are tied to sort of, for example, the hotel business are doing well, while the industrial side of the business, the economy is not doing well?
I think that's what you're seeing a little bit. I think there's a concern about how soon is it coming. In our business, we look at 3 things. We look at consumer confidence, we look at employment. That's very critical for us because we represent the 99%. And then thirdly, GDP. All of those look pretty solid for the next couple of years. So we understand people are being cautious, but in the hotel business, the fundamentals, supply and demand, have never been better. I've been in business 35 years. What I'm telling all my guys, if you're not having fun, get out, because it doesn't get any better.
How do you look at, like, the market clearly is looking at something that looks recessionary from a profit perspective? Your stock went from like 67 to 47 with nothing having changed, really. I mean, other than GDP being 1.5%.
65 to 52, but it's about the same. It's about the same.
At the low, it went to 47 at the low. But I mean, it was really caught up in this. Again, GDP slowed from 4 to 1.5 in the most recent quarter. Do you think that, if given that you just said that GDP matters, do you think that that's an appropriate reaction?
We think it's an overreaction. We think there's concern about the end of the cycle. And if I were in the luxury end of the business, or the upper upscale, which is way different.
Yeah,
I think that's a very different view than the moderate tier.
Right.
And so, you know, our new construction is up 60%. We're going to do 650 hotel deals this year. So for us, and for the next several years, unless something unexpected happens.
Well, Steve, do you worry about people on TV? Talking down the economy. That's who I'm pointing at.
Make sure everyone knows who you're pointing to.
About talking about recession and basically convincing the consumer that it's worse than it really is.
Well,
do you worry about that?
I do worry. I don't think in the end I think they do pay attention to others that do say that. But in the end, I think it's more about how do they feel about their company and their job.
Yeah.
And then how do they feel about spending in general, about their longevity, and looking out, and are their friends losing their jobs, or their friends keeping their jobs? It's that piece that is pretty good right now, and I don't know that that's going to change.
I want to ask you, but you talked about all this construction. You know, we talk a lot about a commercial real estate boom here, and we've talked about what's going to end the cycle. One of the things that I worry about is that we're potentially getting a commercial real estate bubble that could end down the road. Yeah. How are you playing that part of your?
Well, and we're seeing it. It's slowing down some projects, because what happened is commercial and residential, the housing business is coming back. So what we're seeing is a rise in prices of material and a rise in prices of construction service folks, you know, which took it on the chin before. So you got to say, okay, well, they're coming back. It's still working, because our numbers are up big, and we're expecting big numbers next year as well in terms of people doing ground-up hotel development.
And these are individuals that's really boosting the business, or is this business travel?
It's small business.
Small business
that are building these hotels, and it is the business traveler that is still coming in that moderate tier in a big way, because they're doing well.
Yeah.
And so, unless that changes, we just don't see why it should be very positive for the next several years.
Steve, good to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Steve Joyce is the CEO of Choice Hotels. Thank you. We'll see you soon, sir.